This was my first STRAT hotel experience, and to say I was shocked by the room would be a pretty dramatic understatement. I reserved one of STRAT's recently renovated Elevate rooms in their Vegas tower, which came to a grand total of $83.84 for my one-night stay, and that's inclusive of resort fees and taxes. As is typical, I attempted to duck human interaction by leveraging STRAT's self-checking kiosks. Of course, after entering all my information, I got a message that I'd have to wait in line and talk to an actual person. Fortunately, the line was short, the agent was friendly, and I was on my way to the Vegas tower in no time. It was obvious on the approach that this hotel tower was the recipient of recent renovation work. The elevator lobbies and hallways were clean, modern feeling, and well lit. STRAT's hotel was already exceeding my expectations, and I hadn't even made it to the room. That modern, trendy, genuinely nice vibe spilled right into the Elevate room. I was shocked at how nice this room felt. Suddenly I was feeling guilty for how many times I had used STRAT as the punchline to a joke over the years. What made the most immediate impression was how STRAT used lighting in the room. The headboard had built-in lighting, and there was even motion-activated lights underneath each of the bedside tables. Even in the closet, which was home to an iron and ironing board, there was a light that clicked on when you opened it. The lighting room-wide was a modern and unexpected touch. There was a bench at the end of the bed, and the TV had a modern guide which made channel surfing a breeze. On either side of the bed and on the work desk were pop-up chargers that were outfitted with both traditional outlets and USB ports. Next to the work desk was a coffee maker with complimentary pods, and underneath the desk was an empty mini fridge, both of which are coveted amenities. The artwork in the room was both illuminated and uplifting. This particular piece of art really spoke to me and inspired me to visit the ATM and attempt to fight my way back on the casino floor. I was ready to soar, fly, elevate, and rise. Anyway, I got cleaned out on the craps table. The other piece of art, I believe, was encouraging me to visit the fitness center, but as you can tell, I don't lift, so I skipped it. The bathroom was small, which is challenging for a taller guy, but polished. The single sink vanity was topped by an illuminated mirror, and I especially liked the aesthetic of the shower with the blue tile work, although I don't love the half-glass setups that allow water to splash everywhere. Bath products were provided by H2O Therapy. Before moving on, I want to emphasize how impressed I was with this room. I expected the recently renovated room inventory at STRAT to be fine. I did not expect it to be this polished. So what's not to like? When I do hotel room reviews, I get down on my hands and knees looking for dusty corners, rogue hairs, stains, scuffs, etc. And this was an immaculate room. I had to work really hard to find a few scuffs on the work desk that were barely noticeable, and approximately 3 crumbs in the corner of the bathroom. The air conditioning unit, which I assumed to be original to the room prior to renovation, was also pretty loud and rattly. I'm personally a big white noise guy, but I know others may take issue with it. The window was covered with a decorative sticker of sorts that would allow some natural light in, but didn't allow me to see outside. Even if the view sucked, I would probably prefer to be able to see outside than to have my window plastered over. The biggest concern about staying at STRAT is the resort's location relative to the Strip and Fremont Street, neither of which are really walkable. STRAT's neighborhood is also a bit rough around the edges, and you're not likely going to want to spend a ton of time milling about the area. Fortunately, there are cheap ways to get to both the Strip and Fremont Street from STRAT. The first is the Deuce Bus route, which runs in both directions, although it is usually a little bit crowded and slow, not my favorite way to get around. The second is the Downtown Loop shuttle, which runs between STRAT and the Fremont Street experience with notable stops in between like the Arts District and the Pawn Stars Pawn Shop. The Downtown Loop shuttle is completely free. Just bring some tip money. It's a great amenity. Like my room, STRAT's gaming floor also has received some recent attention and almost felt elegant. I especially loved this abstract sculpture thing that really tied the room together, and the ceiling decor was cool too. In addition to the typical assortment of slot games, STRAT was dealing $10 blackjack and craftless craps midweek during the day, which is a rung cheaper than resorts mid-strip. The sportsbook also looks like a great spot to catch a game. Considering STRAT isn't near other resorts, having ample dining options on site is pretty important. Fortunately, there are numerous restaurants with various culinary influences at your disposal. PT's, a sports bar specializing in American pub fare, was unfortunately closed when I desperately needed wings and/or a burger to refuel. An affordable option, most meals ring up at a sub $25 price point. Chi Asian Kitchen prices most entrees in the $20 to $40 range. McCall's Heartland Grill is a steakhouse that currently offers most steak and prime rib options at a sub $50 price point. I settled on the STRAT Cafe for lunch and opted for a French dip, which carried a menu price of $21 and was honestly just not that good. The bread was stale and dry, the roast beef was lukewarm at best, and the whole sandwich just tasted a little cheap, for lack of a better term. Suppose I got some calories out of the deal, but it wasn't awesome. Top of the World Steakhouse is located up in STRAT SkyPod, 800 feet above the Strip, and is an ideal date night destination. They're even offering hotel guests 20% off their bill right now. There are also some quicker eat options that included a pizzeria, McDonald's, and a Starbucks. STRAT's swim and social pool deck is perched on the rooftop in the shadow of the hotel tower and the SkyPod and is a pretty cool scene. The pool is big, sunny, and upbeat, and I appreciated how they built in a few shade canopies so that folks seeking reprieve from the sun could do so. I visited later in the afternoon, but there was more than enough loungers to handle the crowds. Atomic Golf is reachable from STRAT via a long climate-controlled hallway and is an attraction similar to Topgolf. There, you'll be able to play intuitive and social golf games that are fun for folks of all skill and experience levels. They also serve drinks and have a full menu. Their putting district lanes are free for anyone to use, and each offers 3 easy-to-understand games that are projected onto the putting surface. I'll link to my full Atomic Golf review in the video description below, but my 2 main knocks about it were that it was both hot and ugly during the day. That gray turf does come to life at night though, with cosmic lighting effects. This is an evening destination. STRAT's main attraction is their SkyPod Observation Deck and rides, which are worth your time and money even if you're not staying at the resort. You can buy an observation deck ticket in advance on STRAT's website for around $20 to $30 depending on the day, but I snagged my midweek ticket on Vegas.com for $15. Worth every penny. Individual thrill ride passes and even an all-you-can-ride pass can be added onto your observation deck ticket for next to nothing, and they're so fun. Big Shot shoots you straight up 160 feet to reach an elevation of 1,081 feet in total at speeds of 45 miles per hour. And Extreme is like a teeter-totter that dangles you 27 feet off the edge of the tower at heights of around 866 feet. If you're insane enough, you can even jump off the SkyPod in a controlled free fall from a height of 829 feet, reaching speeds of 40 miles per hour on the way down to the target below. Hard pass, but it's fun to watch people do it. The observation deck experience has 2 parts, indoors and out. The indoor portion has seating, large tablets that help you understand what you're looking at out there on the skyline, a bar, 108 Drinks, that offers a 2-for-1 happy hour from 3 to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and even a restaurant with grab-and-go fare like sandwiches, snacks, and drinks. The indoor part of the experience is great because it's climate controlled and allows for a 360-degree view of the Las Vegas Valley. The outdoor portion of the observation deck gives some great views of the Las Vegas Strip to the south. It's open air so you can feel the wind coming through your hair. Whether your ticket costs $15, $20, or $30, this is such a fun experience and worth the money. I've done it 4 or 5 times now and it doesn't get old. Although the neighborhood is a little bit dicey, you should probably hop outside and snap a souvenir photo with the new Gateway Arch, which admittedly looks a lot better at night, and with the showgirls, even though the chip stacks and dice in the foreground have been a little bit defaced, and I'm pretty sure there was a guy pooping behind the letter G when I visited. STRAT, I apologize for being unfamiliar with your hotel game. I'm not really sure what I was expecting, but I left my Vegas Tower Elevate room impressed. I more than got my $83.84 worth, and I'd consider staying again. My room wasn't the only impressive part of the experience though. The broader resort, the pool, the casino floor just feels nice. There are ample dining options, and the free downtown loop shuttle and cheap Deuce Bus are both ways to overcome STRAT's location issues on a budget. I can't speak for their cheapest room offering, but if you've been on the fence about staying at STRAT and can overcome the less than ideal location, consider spending a few extra bucks on a Vegas Tower Elevate room. They're nice.